Hey y'all, this is Angela, and welcome to the show Hodgepodge. This show is not about one thing, this show is about everything. Because in this old crazy world that we're living in, there is lots to discuss. So I hope you'll sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now let's get started with today's episode. Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Hodgepodge with Angela. So today I wanted to talk about something that's sort of near and dear to my heart, and that is our Thanksgiving tradition. And when I say our, I mean mine and my husband's, or Hubby B, as he's known as in our YouTube community. He's not ready for the world to know his name. Like, I don't care that y'all know I'm Angela, but he is not ready to share that. So if you're wondering why we call him Hubby B, or why I call him Hubby B, that is just something that I started back when I first started my YouTube page or my YouTube channel, and I was doing something different, and we just kept it that way. So he is Hubby B, and when I say Hubby B, I am referring to my husband. But today I want to talk about our Thanksgiving traditions. And I'm also going to ask you to respond with maybe your Thanksgiving traditions and let me know what you and your family do. Because I really struggled with this for a couple of years when Hubby B and I got married. And the reason I struggled with it is because my entire family lives in South Carolina. And I live in Georgia, as you know, and Hubby B's brother and his family live in Georgia as well. Now, his mother lives in the state of Florida, and his dad has passed away, but my family lives in South Carolina. And while a lot of people may say, well, South Carolina is not that far probably for you to drive home for Thanksgiving. It's not. It's about a 3.5 hour ride. But when you're old, 3.5 hours, that's a long ride, especially if you go up, you come back in the same day. And I used to do that. When I first moved to Georgia and we got married, I would go home for Thanksgiving. And it was always a fun time because I love my family so much. And my sister and I are really close, and her kids. And my brother, I love my brother, but he's, you're not really that close with your brother. At least I'm not. But his kids are older now, and they kind of do their own things, and, they have their own traditions and kind of thing. But I would like to go home, and, it just got to be a lot. So my husband and I, we kind of came up with our Thanksgiving tradition, things that we like to do on Thanksgiving. And normally I'm able to take that day off work, and sometimes I take the day after. It just depends on what's going on. And I'm thankful to have a job that will allow me to do that. But, the things that we like to do on Thanksgiving, of course, is we get up on Thanksgiving morning and just sort of take our time. And, we talk about things that we're thankful for, or maybe the things that have happened throughout the year that are crazy and that we're glad that are no longer happening. And then we would go to the Golden Corral. Now, I'm not sure if where you live you have a Golden Corral, but if you don't, the Golden Corral is just this ginormous buffet. And they have a salad bar, and they have hot bar with all different sorts of food. And then they'd have desserts and breads and that kind of thing. Now, while it's not as good as eating my mother's cooking or my sister's cooking, it's good. Now, I like traditional turkey and dressing. And when I say dressing, I mean cornbread dressing. And Hubby B is from up north where they do stuffing. And stuffing's okay, but is not near as good as plain old cornbread dressing. So I am a cornbread dressing person, and my sister and my mother, they just make the best. So, but it is okay at the Golden Corral. So we would get up, get dressed, go to the Golden Corral, and always go to the movies. The movies is the one of the place besides the Waffle House that's open on holidays. So we would go to the movies, and usually it'd be like an afternoon, around lunchtime kind of thing. And we loved it. There was one year we did 2 movies that day, and we absolutely love it. That's just something that we like to do. And then we would come home. So we'd go eat, we get our belly full, go to the movies, and I always take a blanket to the movies because it's, It's usually cold in the theater, so I would have my blanket to cover up with. We'd watch our movie, and then we'd come home. Then we would go to Walmart for Black Friday. And y'all, my husband had never been to Black Friday sales until we got married. And I started asking him, I was like, you want to go? And he's like, yeah, I guess I'll go. So we started looking at all the Black Friday things that Walmart was going to have on sale. And we'd go into the store. He'd go one way and I'd go the other. And the first couple of years we did that, we didn't really have anything that we wanted to buy. And then we got to where there were things we'd want to buy. So usually he'd go one way and I would go the other. And we used to really just like to see what Walmart had on sale. And we never stood in line or anything like that. Like, we weren't one of those people that said, okay, we're going to go get TVs. One year we counted all the carts that had TVs in it. I think there were like 25 or something like that. People buying different size TVs. We weren't about that. We were just like, we want to go just see what everybody's doing, or we want to go see what's on sale. That was fun for us. One year we went, and I did want an air fryer, and there was a specific air fryer that I wanted. It wasn't the one with the basket. It was one that looked like a toaster oven. And I did go stand by the basket of air fryers because that's what I wanted. Well, Walmart released their sale for the air fryers at 6 o'clock. That was the time they were going to release it, at 6 o'clock p.m. And y'all, I swanny, it was like 5:55. And I was going to go ahead and put that air fryer in my buggy. But there was one man standing there. I guess it was his wife. And he's like, are you really going to take that air fryer before 6 o'clock? And I'm like, well, I was. And he's like, you're really going to do that? You can't wait 5 minutes. I'm thinking, okay, it's only 5 minutes. He's like, well, you really shouldn't do that because that's not the rule. And y'all, this man made me feel so guilty about taking this air fryer. And there were only 2 of us there. So I waited till 6 o'clock to take the air fryer. And I got it. And I think maybe we picked up some like little Glad Tupperware type things, because those have to be replaced so often. And then maybe we might have bought some cookware that year too that I've since then gotten rid of and got some new cookware. But that's the only real time that we had something in mind that we went to shop for on Black Friday. Then we would get up, we'd go home, and we would go somewhere else, like maybe if Best Buy was open, but we never really had anything to buy. We just wanted to go and see the people. We wanted to go see what was happening, just to get out and have fun. So the next morning, though, we would come home that night, and we would, just kind of revisit what we saw, or if we saw any fighting, or we did see some fighting one time. And it was at Walmart, but it was just one time. And it was crazy. People started tearing off the plastic for the little bins. If you go to Walmart on Black Friday, down the aisles, they usually have all these little carton things sitting out, and movies were the one, and they'd have them wrapped up with like cellophane, and then people would just start tearing off the cellophane right before 6 o'clock. And I really can't say anything because I tried to get the air fryer before 6 o'clock. But I failed to mention, though, movies. Movies were great prices on Black Friday deals. We bought the entire seasons of Big Bang Theory on Black Fridays when they were just great prices. So if you want physical media, and you know how I feel about physical media, Walmart was the place to get it on Black Friday. Well, we would come home, and then the next morning we would always go back to Walmart to see what was still there, if anything was there, if anything was picked over, anything like that. So the one year that we started doing that, that's when the oh goodness, what do you call them? The sound bars were coming out. And we picked up a really nice sound bar for $45. It was regular $150, and it was on sale, and somebody had just stuck it on a shelf, and we found it as we were just walking around, and we bought that. And that was one of the best purchases for Black Friday, because we still have that sound bar and we love it. But we would just walk around to see, if anything was left over and that kind of thing. And Walmart early morning is the best time to go. We love Walmart now early in the morning. But we would go, and then we'd usually go to breakfast, and then, we would tool around or whatever. But that is our Thanksgiving tradition. We'd get up, we'd go eat at the Golden Corral, and then we'd go to the movies, we'd come home, take a nap, do whatever, check on the dogs, and then we would go to Walmart. And then COVID happened, and it totally jacked up our Thanksgiving tradition. I don't even know what we did because we were always torn, like, what are we going to do? Are we going to stay at home and do our own thing? Because I wanted to go to my sister's, but yet he wanted to go to his brother's. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to do that because I don't want to go to your brother's because I can't go to my sister's and I want to be with my sister. So I think we just stayed home, to be honest with you. I can't even remember what we did. But now, fingers crossed, I'm hoping Golden Corral's been open. It's been open for probably a year now. So I'm hoping that Walmart will hold Black Friday. I've been looking. Now, they had it last year, but it was not like it normally was. It was terrible. But I'm hoping that Black Friday will be brought back to Walmart in its former glory. But in the show notes, I will post my hotline if you want to call in, or you can text and let me know your Thanksgiving traditions or anything that you're going to do, or even if you have your own. I know a lot of people, you have families, you get together with families, but because my family's not that close, we started doing our own thing. So let me know what you guys do. Like I said, I've posted a question here in the podcast. If you'll just go and maybe answer, what you do, because I would love to hear what you guys do for your Thanksgiving tradition. And as always, thank you for joining me on this show today, on this podcast. I hope you'll share it. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I don't even think I took a breath because this is one that I can easily talk about because it's something I love so much. But I hope you'll share this. I hope if you're not a follower of the show that you click that follow button so you can be notified when I drop a new show. And as always, thank you for joining me right here at Hodgepodge with Angela. Until next time, bye y'all.